Hello and welcome folks to Glorious Miniatures, and in today's video we'll be checking out the new army box set Cadia Stands. We got some sweet new Astra Militarum to unravel, so without further ado let's just get stuck into it. Cadia Stands Astra Militarum army set. Lovely jubbly. I do like the I've just been spending a bit of time looking at this print, in fact, with the little texture built in. I like it. Looks like a stencil as well. It's very nice. Nice bit of artwork as well. Got some very angry looking guardsmen. Someone who's very much in love with that chainsaw. Some tanks and stuff. Got some monsters dying. Anyway, let's have a look on the back before we actually open it up. As of yet, I've not cracked it open. But we can have a look at what this box contains. Codex Astra Militarum, Assembly Guide, Astra Militarum Transfer Sheet, Astra Militarum Data Cards, 28 Citadel Miniatures, 20 Cadian Shock Troopers, 1 Cadian Command Squad, 1 Sentinel, 2 Ordnance Teams. So this is contained on the back right here. You've got the Ordnance Batteries right there. Sentinel, 2 squads, 10 Command. Let us open this up. I'm going to get the other side as well before I forget. Oh, I like this. I know it's just the box, but I like this already with the flag. One likes a nice flag. This is a slidey one. It is. 20 troopers. Ordnance battery. Ordnance battery. Command squad. Instructions. Codex. Cards. Transfers. Bases. That's it. Let's have a look. All right, and here we have the command sprue. So as you can see, first things first, we have a variety of different head options. We've got a bunch here. I think we've got a total of what appears to be about 14 different heads, with helmets and without. We've got a variety of different special weapons. We've got a flamer here, melter gun, plasma, grenade launcher. We have the communications person with the backpack there, banner bearer. Got some more melter and flamers here. I'm assuming grenade launcher, plasma, chain swords, power swords. Got a couple. We've got a tactical. It's not a tactical rock. It's more like a sort of tiny tank trap type thing. A crenellation maybe. Obviously we've got some very important pointing hands, very important. We've got 2 pointing hands here as normal, and then we have a power fist also pointing. So if you need your people to be pointing, we have definitely got lots of tactical pointing going on. Very important part of a command squad. Otherwise the people don't know where to shoot or where to go and sacrifice themselves to. So that's this new command squad. Okay, the new guardsman sprue is right here. We have got a variety of different head options right here, as you can see. Lots of shouting. We've got some cigarette smoking, cigar smoking, whatever it is, whatever they're smoking in this day and age. Las rifles, as always. The Foxcaster there. Flamer, plasma, chainsword, sandbags, a couple of sandbags knocking around, grenade launcher, and melter gun, plasma. So they got all the sort of weapons you would expect. Some tactical pointing going on. Obviously also very important, entrenching tool. Okay, so you get 2 of these sprues within this, because each of these build up 10 guardsmen. But this is the ordnance battery sprue. As you can see, it's just a triple frame. It looks like you can build both options twice. And we got a total of, so 2 of those, 2 of the grenade rocket launchers, and 2 of the heavy las. We've got 2 of the shields, the gun shields, both types. We've got the sort of angled one, the this thing, and then I'd imagine this is for the this one. I don't know. Well, without looking at the instructions, it's all guesswork. 2 of these carriage things for dragging it around, and the actual carriages that the artillery sits on. We got the Marines. We got the Guardsmen right here as well, holding a shell there if that's what's required. The mortar thing here, which goes into those. It's a mortar thing, not a rocket. Excuse me. Is that a battery pack right there for the las? Potentially it is. That is that sprue, or 2 sprues. We have the Sentinel right here. We've got the main sort of armored torso. We've got the plasma, flamer, las. We have a multi-laser and an auto gun. So there's quite the array of weaponry for this thing. You've got the actual guardsman itself right here, the chainsaw attachment, the hunter-killer missile, the feet, the antenna and stuff like that. All the things you require. I believe this can be made in both the armored and sort of unarmored scout version. So you do have to make a decision on that. I think I'll probably be going armored. We have the Cadia Stands army set instructions right here. We're not going to look at all of the pages. Let's have a brief look. We got the base size to make sure you get the right base sizes. A check of all the contents. So make sure all the correct sprues are in there. Got different build variants right here. Cadian Command Squad instructions. What build options are you going to go with? Power Sword is always tempting. Power Fist, though. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Special Weapons. Guardsman right there. Banner Bearer. Foxcaster. All that sort of stuff. Cadian Shock Troops. All of these different head options. 20 by the looks of it. What a surprise. The problem is I'm not too familiar with the old Guardsman kit, so I can't tell if anything in particular, apart from the design, is drastically changed. All right, the Ordnance Battery. You can build one of each, obviously. Got the gun carriage. That is very cool. I do like this. Use the variant whether you want a person on there or not. And these are the 3 options, obviously, you can build. I think I'm going to... I like the aesthetic of these things. Not so fond of I don't really like the aesthetic of these. It'd be really down to these 2. Unless there's some amazing thing in the rules about these. I'd imagine indirect fire is their thing. Probably just tuck them behind some scenery and not have to worry, ideally. Yeah, I've got to figure out a scheme quickly because I'm really wanting to get painting them. Decent amount of extra stuff for the bases to make them appear less empty and stuff like that, which is a nice thing. You got the Scout Sentinel, as I guessed correctly, and the armored version right there with the covered top. Nice you get the option to potentially paint the inside of this with the bloke on there. I don't know if that's people really care about that. I'm quite happy to paint something you're probably not going to see much of. These are all the weapon options you get for the Scout Sentinel. As we said, multi-laser, I think, laser, flamer, plasma. Oh, I missed out this one. A rocket launcher of some variety. Chainsaw hand thing. Hunter killer missile. Do these things have searchlights? Thankfully, I was just asking and answered my own question at the same time. You get extra sort of bits and pieces like fuel containers, batteries, backpacks, etc. That's basically it. As you can see, that's everything you've got within. That's them painted up. Obviously, these are doubled up. All right, so let's have a look at the codex. And here it is. Look at that. Just looking at the artwork itself and the lovely matte finish. It's lovely. Lovely stuff. Okay, so let's have a look at this book. Now, I'm just going to start off by saying we're not going to go through every single page. We're not really going to be looking at all the rules. I'm going to point out anything I think is particularly interesting, and we'll have a look at some of the artwork, and that's about it. Really, we're not really going to be doing an in-depth review or anything like that. It's more like a let's just see what's in here kind of deal. So, lovely bit of artwork on the front. Okay, so Astra Militarum. Contents. Introduction, all of Cadia, era Indomiters, yada yada yada. Infantry regiments, so 30. The rules. Showcase, characters, special infantry units by the looks of it, Ogrins, etc. Then a whole bunch of tanks. We will look at the Rogel Dawn battle tank and the Field Ordnance Battery. We might have to accidentally look at the super heavies as well, which are right here. Crusade rules, battle traits, tours of duty, agendas, various bits and pieces, war gear. There's an awful lot in this book. It's quite fat. Would like to know what this is. There is like a troop transport. Massive wings going on. Now I have Vestroians, so I am slightly tempted to do some sort of Vestroian thing. I would like to. My main focus is going to be armoured, an armoured division. We are going to have some fleshy people within that. However, I've got to decide exactly what blend of regiments or old regiments that I go with. The Glorious Tapestry. I have seen... I might be tempted to get another one of these. I've said it before, I think. I would be tempted to get another one of these to turn into a free guild general for my Age of Sigmar army. Galaxy of War. Ursula Creed. Right here. Ursula Creed is her father's daughter in many respects. Hardened general, physically imposing, Creed stands as a symbol of Cadia's survival exemplifying her people's unbound spirit. Ursula's ride to a senior command was not the meteoric ascent of Ursarkar, but it was grindingly unstoppable. She relentlessly demanded swift redeployment in the wake of victory after victory, forging her own legend as a strategist of incredible intuition and ruthless determination. Over her broad shoulders, the new Lord Castellan wears what some assume to be a recreation of her father's greatcoat, but surely it perished with him. Ursula, however, knows it to be no fake. Appearing in her sealed chambers months after the loss, dried blood and the smell of Cadia's final hours saturating the heavy fabric fired an obsessive hope in her that somehow, somewhere, her father yet lived. There we go, that's a bit nice. That's nice, isn't it? Some Fall of Cadia stuff. We're not going to be reading that. Personally, I like Cadia's. I've never been too fussed about it. They are, in my mind, I've always considered Cadia to be the generic guardsman. And as a result of that, they've been a bit meh. I did originally purchase some of these to turn into my Polar Defense Force for my Ultramarine army. It started but never finished. It was just more of a plan than anything else. So that artwork. Absolutely magnificent. Chain of Command, Mordians. Combined Arm Regiments, the Iron Guard, Catishans, Indiga, Tempestus, right? Deathworld Regiments, Catishan, Warzone Catishan, very nice. Mechanized Infantry Regiments. I am looking forward to these new miniatures right here. Krieg, Siege. See, I really like the idea of this kind of stuff. Siege and Artillery Regiments. Maybe if we don't go fully tank, we'll go Artillery and Siege. Tanith First and Only. So that's Gaunt's Ghost right there. Armored Regiments. Very tempting. Knight Commander Pask. Or Pask. Scions. I do have one box. I think I got to start collecting Scions at some point. Warzone Armageddon. Yarrick. Colors of Conquest. Okie dokie. Nice painted miniatures right here. There's the Rogel right there. Ordnance team with Malleus rocket launcher. There's the Rogel. How majestic that beast is. A few of those, a couple of those, and lots of Lehman Russes. And a cheeky Baneblade. Or a Stormlord. I do like this new Commissar right here. We have looked at it in a previous stream. The Rough Riders. With a frag-tipped hunting lance. There's Lord Commander Solo right there on his horsey. I like the majority of it. I like the white cloak, the white of the horse. The only thing I find a bit weird is the blue suit he's wearing. So I would definitely be changing that. Apart from that, I really like the scheme as it is. There's Ursula Creed right there. There is a helmeted and a unhelmeted version of her. That's the Taurox Prime. Thankfully, I managed to purchase some resin wheels for these things. I've always thought this looks so goofy. I absolutely would swap these out for either a 2x2, so 4 wheels in total, or a 2x4, so 2 up front, 4 at the back. More artwork. Data sheets, the rules, attachment abilities, regimental doctrines, chain of command, regimental doctrines here, mechanized infantry, parade drill, armored superiority, blitz division, expert bombardiers, heirloom weapons. So this is the Vestroyan one. Essentially, recon operators, trophy hunters, grim demeanor, brutal strength, the veteran guerrillas, elite sharpshooters, cult of sacrifice, that would be Krieg, industrial efficiency, steel legions, swift as the wind, Talon. My mind is very heavily kind of focused towards Talon, although in my brain is saying Talon, but on a snowy Arctic world, or at least that's where they're battling. So their desert scheme tanks have been sort of winter whitewashed. All the stratagems here, we're not even going to go through these because I wouldn't be able to make head nor tail of them. Psychana disciplines, tank aces, warlord traits, relics, very important. Data sheets, regimental orders, mechanized orders, prefectus orders. Got your data sheets for Lord Solo Leontus. 8 wounds. I wonder how many wounds are the horse. Ursula Creed. She's got 5 wounds. Cadian Castellan. That would be your lieutenant thing, I believe. They also have 5 wounds. Okay. What differences does Ursula have? Any difference? 4+ save. 5 attacks. So slightly better than the lieutenant, which is not a surprise. Tank commander, platoon command squad. Cadian Command Squad, Iron Hand, Primaris Psyker, Gaunt's Ghosts, yet to purchase them. Attaches, Cadian Shock Troops, Infantry Squad, Death Corps, Jungle Fighters, Sly, Azarakin, or Carskin as I like to call them. Regimental Preacher, Sergeant Harker, all these sorts of things. Rattlings, good to see them still there. Sentinels, Rogel. So 17 wounds. I'm sure people have discussed this already, but 17 wounds, 2+ save. That's disgusting. 6 attacks at full profile. Bunch of weapons. We got Castigator Gatling Cannon, Coaxial Autocannon, Heavy Bolter, Heavy Stubber, Melter Gun, Melty Melter. The war gear options are right here, so you can replace the Twin Battle Cannon. You can replace it with an Oppressor Cannon, which is here at 90-inch range. Heavy D6 +3. What is that? That's -3. Oh, crikey. Strength 10, -3 AP, damage 4. It's disgusting. I like it. I like it a lot. Heavy Weapon Squad, Field Batteries. The Bombast Field Gun can target units that are not visible to the bearer. I like the indirect fire. Leman Russ Battle Tanks, which is going to be the majority of my army. Basilisks, Hydras, Manticores, Wyverns, Wyverns, Deathstrike, Chimera, Valkyrie, Taurox. I have 1 Valkyrie, and I've got 1 Taurox. Aegis Defense. Oh. So this is a new... we have seen images for this already. But this is nice to see it actually written in the rules. That would be a nice painting tutorial at some point. Terrain feature gives us defense line, light cover, heavy cover, and defensible. Not too bad. 2 power as well. Baneblade, Bane Hammer, Bane Sword. I always get so confused with these. Doom Hammer, Hell Hammer, Shadow Sword, Stormlord. This is the one that's very tempting. It carries lots of infantry and it's got the Vulcan Mega Bolter. Storm Sword, Militarum Tempestus, Scions, Taurox Prime. Okay, we've got the Crusade rules here. I love this as well. Crusade rules. Battle traits. Tours of duty. Campaign medals. Agendas, requisitions. Crusade relics. Astra Militarum name generator. Cadian names, Cadia names, Krieg, Talon, Valhallan, Destroyan, tank names. Oh, I like this. This is very nice indeed. Crusade armies. Very nice. Some old school artwork there. Or reminiscent of the old school. War gear points and things right here. Weapon definitions. Point values. All the stuff you need to build your army. And then a glossary. And reference. That is that. As you can see, it's quite a large book. There's lots to fit in there. Definitely beyond the scope of this video. And probably not a future video. I don't play the game enough. Don't play the game at all currently to even be able to give you a decent insight into anything. It's more of just a quick skim through and a look. I do like this artwork though. Nice book. I'm glad I have this version. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, we have the data cards. Now, this is just a quick skim through. I don't know if anything's really going to appeal to sort of appear, but we'll have a quick look at them. It's not an in-depth look though. Stratagems, it's basically all in the book anyway. So it's just really for ease of use and stuff like that, I guess. So all the stratagems, rather than constantly having to look at books, I guess. Stratagems, epic deeds, requisition stratagems, strategic ploys, vicious traps. What else we got? Overcharged las cells. War gear stratagems, smoke launchers, very important. Don't want people shooting at you. Make it a bit difficult for them. First rank fire, second rank fire. That one seems very juicy. So you change the type of all las guns and hotshot las guns in this unit are equipped to heavy 3. Well, hello there. I like the sound of that. I've watched many battle reports. Not that I can remember huge amounts of the rules and stuff, but this one seemed to be used quite a lot. Take aim, fix bayonets. Not what I'd want to. I've definitely seen move being used before. Perfectus orders. Mechanized orders. Pound them to dust. Shock and awe. Psychic's powers. Smite. Seen that one before. Psychana disciplines. Night Shrouds. Core stratagems. Command reroll. Uh-oh. That's insane bravery. Okay, so there's, stuff we've all probably familiar with. I don't know how much this would have changed. So it's basically, it says Cadia a bunch up here. Okay. As you can just about see. It's got a bunch of numbers. You got some eagle, some wing things with skulls on, Aquilas and all that kind of jazz. You got your other unit markings here. I like these ones right here in particular. You got some, well, I'm not entirely sure what these are. They look like houses or sort of, maybe it's a mausoleum or something. Anyway, there's some kind of motif there and a whole bunch of, I'm assuming, regiment numbers here as well. But that's basically the transfer sheet. There's nothing huge about to say that. And then obviously you got the bases. We don't really need to go through the bases. Folks, thanks very much for hanging out with me today as we've checked out this new Cadia Stands box set. I have yet to make a decision on what regiment kind of style we're going to go with, even paint jobs and such. I have a vague idea, but whether or not I can make it a reality, it's a completely different thing. Plus, I got to coincide that with some potential Vestroyans, so or Vestroyan miniatures at least. So I'm hoping I can come up with something. And I'd ask you folks, what do you paint your Astra Militarum up as? Thank you very much for hanging out with me. If you've made it this far, I'd very much like it if you could like, subscribe, and indeed hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. That's all I got. Thank you very much. Goodbye.